It was an ordinary morning on Earth. The sun shone brightly across the cities, and people went about their daily lives, unaware of the disaster that was about to unfold. Suddenly, the calm sky darkened as massive alien ships appeared, blocking out the sun. They were huge, like floating cities, their dark metallic surfaces reflecting the sunlight. No one knew what they were, but everyone knew this was no ordinary sight. The Colt had arrived. The world's governments scrambled to respond. At first, it seemed like an anomaly, perhaps a scientific discovery or a diplomatic mission. But the Colt had no interest in diplomacy. The moment their ships entered Earth's atmosphere, they unleashed hell. Their weapons were unlike anything humanity had ever seen. The air filled with the roar of explosions as cities were torn apart. Fighter jets scrambled into the sky, but they were no match for the Colt's advanced technology. Alien ships fired powerful beams, easily shooting down Earth's best planes. In a matter of hours, the Colt had rendered Earth's defenses useless. Major cities like New York, London, and Tokyo fell in flames. Humanity's resistance was futile. The Colt didn't need to fight for Earth's land. They were after something far more valuable: resources. The Colt knew that Earth's oceans, minerals, and energy sources could fuel their empire for centuries. But they weren't interested in negotiation. Their message was clear. Earth was now theirs. First, humans tried to organize. The military launched counterattacks, sending everything they had. But the Colt showed no mercy. Their advanced laser cannons disintegrated tanks and buildings with terrifying precision. Ground forces were obliterated. The Air Force was decimated. The global military forces realized they were fighting an enemy who couldn't be beaten with traditional tactics. As the destruction continued, the world's leaders met in secret, debating their next move. But no plans seemed to work. Earth was sinking into despair. The Colt's forces overwhelmed the planet, establishing control over the major cities. They enslaved the survivors, forcing them into labor camps to mine Earth's resources. A sense of hopelessness spread across the world. In the midst of the chaos, one man stood apart from the rest: Captain Alex Carter. A retired pilot who had spent years away from the battlefield, he watched in disbelief from his home in the countryside as alien ships ravaged the sky. He could hear the distant sounds of explosions, see the smoke rising in the distance. His old instincts flared up. He couldn't just sit and wait for the world to fall apart. He had to do something. Alex wasn't a young man anymore, and he hadn't flown a fighter jet in years. But he had the skills, he had the experience, and more importantly, he had the heart to fight back. Without hesitation, he raced to the nearby military base. The military had all but collapsed, and the base was now a shadow of its former self. But Alex knew where to look. He managed to find his old fighter jet, an outdated model, but it would have to do. With a quick inspection and a few adjustments, Alex was ready. He was about to take on an alien fleet that had destroyed the Earth's most advanced forces. Alone. No backup. No reinforcements. Just him, his jet, and a whole lot of courage. He took off into the sky, the roar of the engines filling the air. Alex wasn't sure if he would survive this, but he knew one thing: he couldn't just let Earth fall without a fight. As he flew through the smoke-filled skies, the sight of the alien Armada grew clearer. The ships were enormous, towering above the clouds. Thousands of them filled the sky, all positioned above Earth's cities, destroying everything in their path. The sight was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Alex engaged his afterburners, closing the distance between himself and the nearest Colt ship. He fired a few shots with his jet's laser cannons, and to his surprise, one of the smaller alien ships exploded. But that success was short-lived. A massive Colt ship, far larger than anything he had ever seen, turned its attention toward him. It opened fire with a powerful beam, sending Alex's jet spinning out of control. The fighter barely managed to stay in the air as Alex quickly pulled the controls, narrowly avoiding destruction. But the Colt didn't give up. The alien forces quickly surrounded him. They had noticed him, the lone human who dared to fight back. The Colt general, XR, watched from the command deck of his flagship as the lone pilot tried to make a difference. Czar was furious. He had never imagined that a single human would challenge the Colt. To him, humans were insignificant, easy to crush. But this pilot was different. He wasn't going to let him go so easily. In a fit of rage, General Xar ordered his fleet to focus all their firepower on Alex's jet. But Alex, using his experience and skill, dodged and weaved through the chaos of battle, taking down a few more Colt fighters. He couldn't believe his luck. Every moment felt like a miracle. But the alien armada was vast, and the Colt's focus shifted to ending his fight. As Alex flew through the deadly storm of energy beams and enemy ships, he realized this was only the beginning. He was up against an enemy that could obliterate Earth with ease. But he wasn't going down without a fight. The battle had only just started. Captain Alex Carter, the lone man against an entire alien armada, was just getting started. But would his courage and determination be enough to stop the Colt? Or would the alien forces crush him before he had a chance to fight back? As General Xar prepared to take him down, Alex felt the weight of the battle. Alone against impossible odds. The world's fate rested in his hands, and every move he made could either save or doom them all. Would this lone human really stand a chance against the power of an entire armada? The Colt were not about to let him go without a fight. The war against the Colt was far from over, but one thing had become clear: Earth's people were not going to surrender without a fight. At the center of this rising rebellion was Captain Alex Carter, a man who had become an unexpected symbol of hope. His lone assault against the Colt Armada had sparked something inside the hearts of humanity, a realization that they weren't as weak as the aliens had thought. After Alex's daring assault, people around the world began to take notice. His bravery had made the impossible seem possible. What was once thought to be a hopeless situation now ignited a spark of defiance. Small resistance groups began to form, led by everyday people, mothers, fathers, students, soldiers, and anyone willing to stand up. People who had never fought before started organizing, making weapons out of whatever they could find. Firearms, homemade explosives, even old tanks and fighter jets were repaired and put to use. As the days passed, more and more people joined the fight. In the shadows of destroyed cities, in underground bunkers, and in remote villages, people were coming together, ready to take down the Colt. Even scientists and engineers, who had once been too afraid to act, started creating new technologies to help in the fight. Makeshift machines, EMP devices, and energy shields were quickly adapted from Earth's remaining resources. The ingenuity of the human race was turning the tide of battle, one small victory at a time. With each victory, humans grew bolder. They were no longer just surviving, they were fighting back. It was not enough, however, to win small skirmishes. To really show the Colt that they were capable of more, Alex knew they had to do something big. His team had uncovered a significant weakness in the Colt's massive warships. It was a flaw hidden deep in their power systems, one that could potentially cripple the Colt fleet if exploited. Alex didn't hesitate. He led a small team on a dangerous mission to take down one of the Colt's largest warships. The ship was stationed above a major city, surrounded by layers of Colt defense systems. The mission was almost impossible, but Alex was no stranger to impossible odds. With a mix of courage, strategy, and a little bit of luck, Alex's team infiltrated the Colt ship. They planted explosives on critical power generators, and with a flick of a switch, the ship's core went into meltdown. The explosion was deafening. The ship crumpled like a piece of paper, spiraling down from the sky in a cloud of fire and debris. The explosion was visible from miles away. Earth's resistance had just scored its first major victory. The world erupted in cheers. It was proof that the Colt weren't invincible. Earth's people weren't just helpless victims. They were capable of striking back. And they were angry. Back on the Colt flagship, General Xar watched the news feed in disbelief. His fleet had lost a major warship, and the humans had somehow managed to infiltrate their most guarded defenses. Xar had never expected Earth to fight back, let alone win. The Colt's arrogance had led them to believe that humans were no more than insects to be crushed. But now, they were forced to recognize humanity's strength. Furious, Xar ordered an immediate counterattack. he would not allow this rebellion to continue. He sent the cult's best forces, elite soldiers, warships, and devastating weaponry to wipe out the human resistance once and for all. The cult believed that crushing this small uprising would demoralize the humans and show them that they were still at the mercy of the alien empire. But Tsar didn't know what he was up against. While the cult prepared their most devastating strike, something strange was happening on Earth. With each victory, the human resistance grew stronger. The people of Earth were no longer just fighting to survive, they were fighting for their future. Their will to resist had awakened something within them. Not just their courage, but their strength. The cult's counterattack came swiftly. Warships filled the sky, and the Earth shook with the sound of battle. The cult unleashed their full force, sending wave after wave of soldiers to crush the human rebellion. Earth's resistance, led by Alex, now had to face the wrath of the cult's finest warriors. But something was different. Humans were not just defending, they were fighting with a renewed power, an energy they hadn't known they possessed. Even ordinary people were starting to display extraordinary abilities, as though their very DNA was responding to the fight. The aliens, once so sure of their victory, now found themselves on the defensive. Could Alex and his team keep their momentum going, or would the overwhelming power of the cult crush the rebellion once and for all? What would happen if the humans' newfound power wasn't enough to stop the alien armada? As the battle intensified, one thing became clear: the cult had underestimated humanity, and now they were about to witness just how wrong they had been. The battle rages on, and the odds seem impossible. With the cult's forces closing in, can Alex and the resistance push through and defeat their alien oppressors, or will the counterattack wipe out everything they've fought for? As the fight for Earth's future reaches its peak, humanity must face its greatest test yet. The rebellion against the cult had grown in size and strength. What started as small, scattered acts of defiance was now a full-scale war. Humanity, once terrified and enslaved, was fighting back with a vengeance. The cult had thought they could crush Earth with ease, but they were wrong. Earth's people, led by the courage of Captain Alex Carter and his team, had become a force to be reckoned with. Across the world, nations put aside their differences. The scale of the cult threat was too great for any single country to face alone. Governments, military forces, and everyday citizens joined together for one common goal: to free Earth from the alien invaders. No longer divided by borders or politics, humanity had one singular purpose. Resistance groups, formed from all walks of life, now operated under a unified command. Engineers and scientists worked alongside soldiers and civilians to develop new technologies and weapons. Earth's old, outdated military tools had been replaced with advanced technology developed in secret laboratories. The humans were not just surviving, they were now fighting for their future, their freedom, and their planet. The cult, once so confident in their superior power, were beginning to feel the pressure. Their once unshakable control over Earth's cities was crumbling. Resistance groups launched successful attacks on cult supply lines, destroyed warships, and freed millions of enslaved humans. The aliens were now on the defensive, trying desperately to regroup and retain their hold over Earth. The tide of war had shifted in humanity's favor. Captain Alex Carter, now a leader of the human resistance, had one goal in mind: to end the cult invasion once and for all. With the growing strength of humanity behind him, Alex planned a bold assault on the cult flagship, the central command ship that controlled their entire fleet. If they could destroy it, the cult's army would fall apart and Earth would be free. The plan was risky, but it was their best shot. Alex and his team assembled a strike force of the most skilled fighters and engineers, all determined to take the fight to the heart of the cult invasion. They would infiltrate the flagship, destroy its core, and cripple the cult's ability to control their forces. It was their final push for victory. The team set out on their mission, flying in stealth ships toward the cult flagship. As they neared their target, the tension was palpable. The enemy fleet loomed large in the distance, a giant metallic monster that controlled the fate of Earth. It was now or never. Just as they were closing in on the flagship, Commander Xar, the ruthless leader of the cult forces, made his move. He had been waiting for this moment, and he had a new weapon, a weapon so powerful it could change the course of the war. Tsar had been hiding it, hoping to unleash it at the most critical time. The Colt's new weapon was unlike anything Alex or his team had ever encountered. A monstrous creature, a horrifying mix of alien biology and advanced technology, was unleashed from the depths of the flagship. It was an abomination, a beast of unimaginable size and strength, designed for one purpose: to destroy humanity. The creature was faster, stronger, and more deadly than anything they had fought before. It tore through the resistance fighters like paper, its razor-sharp claws slicing through armor, its roar shaking the very ground. Its massive wings spread out, blocking out the sky as it descended upon the humans. It was like nothing Alex had ever seen, a nightmare brought to life, and it seemed unstoppable. Alex and his team fought desperately, using all the weapons and strategies they had. But nothing seemed to hurt the creature. Its thick, armored hide absorbed every blast. It was relentless, and every time they thought they had a chance to defeat it, it only grew more furious. The creature moved with terrifying speed, dodging their attacks and countering with brutal force. The resistance was losing ground. More and more of their fighters were falling, and Alex could feel the weight of the situation pressing down on him. This creature could destroy everything they had worked for. If they didn't stop it, the Colt would win. The fight for Earth was on the brink of failure, and there seemed to be no way out. With the creature wreaking havoc and the resistance falling apart, Alex knew this was their most difficult challenge yet. Their weapons couldn't seem to hurt the monster, and the Colt forces were closing in fast. Time was running out. Alex's mind raced as he searched for a solution. The Colt had underestimated humanity's resourcefulness before. Could they pull off another miracle? Was there a way to defeat this creature before it destroyed everything? As the creature closed in, roaring with fury, Alex and his team had one last chance. Could they come up with a plan in time? Or was this the end of Earth's rebellion? The battle for Earth's future had reached its most dangerous moment yet, and only the courage, unity, and ingenuity of humanity could decide the outcome. The battle for Earth is at its peak. With the monster wreaking havoc and humanity on the brink of defeat, can Alex and his team find a way to destroy the creature and finish the fight? Or will the Colt's terrifying new weapons spell the end for Earth? The fate of the planet hangs in the balance as the final stand begins. The battle for Earth had reached its final, most dangerous stage. After months of resistance, Captain Alex Carter and the ragtag human forces had pushed the Colt back. But their victory was far from guaranteed. The Colt's terrifying creature, a bioengineered monstrosity, still lurked in their ranks, and the alien Armada was not ready to give up. Now, humanity had to face their greatest challenge, yet the last stand to save their planet. Alex and his team were deep inside the Colt mothership, facing the creature that had terrorized them for so long. The massive beast had torn through their ranks, unstoppable and vicious. But Alex wasn't about to give up now. He had led humanity to this moment. The creature was too powerful. Its claws tore through steel. Its roar shook the ship to its core. Alex's team fought back with everything they had: lasers, grenades, and the best technology they could find, but it wasn't enough. The creature was simply too strong, and the Colt were relentless in their pursuit of victory. Just when it seemed like the creature would overwhelm them, Alex made a shocking discovery. In the chaos of battle, he remembered something: the ancient artifact he'd found earlier, the one that had started this entire revolution. He'd never fully understood its power, but now he realized its true potential. The artifact wasn't just a relic. It was a key to channeling the energy of the Earth itself. Alex, desperate and focused, managed to activate the artifact, and in an instant, he felt a surge of energy unlike anything he had ever experienced. The artifact hummed with power, as if it were alive, tapping into the very heart of Earth. With a determined shout, Alex directed the power toward the creature. A massive beam of energy erupted from the artifact, connecting with the creature's massive form. The blast was blinding, bright enough to light up the entire mothership. The creature screeched in agony as the energy wave coursed through it, and then, in one final explosion, it was gone. The once unstoppable monster collapsed into a heap of charred remains. The Colt forces, who had been relying on it as their last weapon, were left stunned. The remaining soldiers scrambled in panic, realizing that the tide had truly turned. With the creature defeated, Alex and his team pressed on. They didn't stop there. The Colt mothership, which had been the centerpiece of their invasion, was collapsing. Alex's team had already disabled the ship's core, and the Colt were now retreating. The remaining alien forces scattered, trying to escape the wreckage of their once mighty invasion fleet. The humans had done it. Earth was free. The victory wasn't just about strength. It wasn't about the technology or the weapons they used. It was about something deeper. Humanity's triumph was built on unity, on courage, and on the ability to think outside the box. Where the Colt had underestimated them, humanity had surprised them at every turn. They had found a way to fight back, even against the most impossible odds. As the Colt ships retreated and the world's cities were freed, people all over Earth cheered. The sounds of celebration echoed from every corner of the planet. For the first time in years, the skies above Earth were clear. Humanity had won. But as the dust settled, Alex couldn't shake a feeling of unease. The Colt had been defeated, but their retreat didn't mean the galaxy was safe. The artifact, which had proven to be humanity's greatest weapon, still held many secrets. Alex wondered what else it could unlock. What other dangers or challenges might be waiting for humanity out there in the stars? As Earth began the long process of rebuilding, Alex knew that humanity's journey was just beginning. The victory was hard-earned, but it had also shown the universe that Earth was not a planet to be underestimated. The Colt had thought they could conquer Earth with ease. Now, they knew better. The galaxy had learned to respect the human spirit. But the future remained uncertain. Could Earth defend itself if another, even more powerful enemy arrived? What new secrets did the artifact hold? And most importantly, how would humanity handle the challenges that lay ahead? As Alex looked toward the horizon, a new sense of responsibility settled over him. Earth had won, but the battle for the future was just beginning. The universe had been shocked by humanity's resilience, but Alex knew that the greatest tests were still to come. The next chapter of Earth's story had yet to be written. And with that, the sky above Earth, for the first time in years, was truly free. But the stars still beckoned. Humanity's journey through the galaxy had only just begun.